Alright, time to organize the rooms. What do we even have? I'm about to have to start a mule character. Okay, so we got like tier. Let's organize these. See how many of each we have. Tier F. Okay, that's Ral. Oh, Charles meowing. Why are you meowing, Charles? Everything's fine, buddy. I think Charles is extremely bored right now. Poor guy. What are you saying, Charles? Come here, man. Come here. How's it going, Ration Sensei? Is that how you pronounce your name? That's an interesting name. Neff. That is not here. Several rows. And an ith. Lots of jewels. Oh man, I need more inventory space. That, or I just need to like... What's self-found necromancer mean? Well, if you haven't played Diablo 2, this is a necromancer. The last stream I played, I leveled him from 1 to 27, and he is a summoner. And yeah, I'm only using. I'm playing on Battle.net, which is internet, by the way. If you're familiar with Diablo 3 or StarCraft or Warcraft or whatever, everything I found on this guy is well, I found myself. I did not play with anyone else, didn't trade for it, didn't buy it or anything. That's what self-found means. Oh man, okay, so let's see. I'm not really sure why I'm keeping any of these chipped gems. Maybe I'll use them to make some other stuff. How's it going, guys? It's 11:11 my time. I may just start converting my runes into higher ones. I may just do that to save space. I'm glad you like the Star Fox song. I was extremely scared to try that song. For an entire year I didn't attempt it, even though I wanted to, because I didn't think it would turn out very well, but it turned out pretty good. It didn't turn out terrible. Yeah, I'm definitely going to convert these runes to save space. Because I have little space. Oh, that's an F. What am I doing? Do I not have? Definitely have 3 tiers. Which equals a Neff. How many Neffs do I have? Just 2? Yeah, Diablo 3 is a lot of fun. I just, you know, Diablo 2 is just what I feel like playing right now. It's classic. Love it. Need a Zod rune? Yeah. Is it called Zot in your country? Here it's called ZOD, Zod. I think that's all the ones I can convert. Let's double check this. 2 orts. An L and an Eld. 2 Neffs. 2 Iths. Yeah, I think that's it. That is it. Okay, well, we saved some space. Try to keep these grouped together. I only have 1 Ral. 1 tier, an L, 1 L, 1 L, 2 nefs, 2 iths, and an eth rune. Okay, so we've conserved some space. Okay, well, let's see how many chip gems we have. We may just get rid of these. Because honestly, so yeah, those of you just joining, I'm doing some inventory management before I start playing, which is why it's not a whole lot's going on right now. But I'll admit, this is probably going to be a decently long stream, so. Thanks there, Dave. That's very kind of you. I just have one. Yeah, I just have one stat. Okay. Well, guys, I think we're ready to go fight. Though, I may go ahead and bank these rejuves. If any of you were here last stream, then I streamed for 12 hours straight on this character. And he's a summon necromancer. Which is why I'm only level 27. This is not a super offensive build. It's more of a hardcore safety build. And I attempted Diablo at level 25 on this character. Did not work. It just didn't. And let me turn my volume down a little bit so I can shield up. Okay, let's see if I can get back in the groove of this. I don't even remember my hotkeys. It's been several days. Get that going. Summon 2 skeletons, 1 mage, a single golem, and I have my merc. And my golems have bones. Actually, because I have a skill shrine, I can probably summon. Yep, I could summon even more. Yeah, last stream was a 12-hour stream. It may not be 12 hours this time, because I actually probably should be recording if I want to get my song done by Monday. Right now, I want to be playing some D2. So that's what I'm going to do. Is a shift one? Yeah, it's like feed your mercenary. Yeah, 12 hours is a lot of hours to play a game. But I hadn't played Diablo in a long time. And it sounded like a lot of fun. Diablo 2, rather. Played Diablo 3 a lot in the expansion. And before. But I've got a lot of nostalgic feels for this game, just because of... I don't know, if any of you guys have played this. This game has a lot more of a gritty, evil feel. Play Golem is better. On Diablo, it can slow it down. Yeah, it didn't seem to matter too much, because Diablo would one-shot anything. The only thing he would not one-shot was my mercenary. He would one-shot Clay Golem. He would one-shot Blood Golem. He would one-shot all of my skeletons. Would not one-shot me or my merc, but he would two-shot my merc. And it was terrible. So, the way I'm going with this build is, the reason why I have so few skeletons is because I'm not wasting points in skeletons. I'm saving them for revives, because revives are so much more powerful. And I want to have a revive army, just a big, fat revive army. Because skeletons, I love them, but they're so brittle. And, you know, the way I'm going right now, I have 20 points in Skeleton Mastery, so they are maxed out. And, you know, I have 1 point in each of these just so I can have some, but Summon Resist is what I'm going next. So I'm basically maxing out Skeleton Mastery. I already did that, so Skeletons are maxed out without having these maxed out. Summon Resist has 3 points in it. I mean, that's going to have 20 eventually, so they'll have Extreme Resists. And I will pump Revives. And as you can see, by looking down at the bottom of Revive, Skeleton Mastery and Summon Resist buff up Revive itself. It's a synergistic skill thing. And, yeah, so that's my plan. So once I hit level 30, I'm level 27 right now. Once I hit 30, revives are going to start happening, and that's when I'm going to start building my revive army. And I'll be honest, it's been a long, I talked about this last stream, but it's been a long, long time since I played Diablo 2, and a much longer time since I played a necromancer, seriously. The last necromancers that I played were very offensive, softcore build necromancers. And they were more for fun. This is, man, it's probably been over 10 years since I played hardcore necromancer summon build. And honestly, I got a lot of really good advice last stream. A lot of people gave me some good advice and kind of helped me realize that, well, there are better ways to do things. But my original plan is still holding pretty strong. It's just trying to kill Diablo level 25 with a summon build was extremely excruciating. Any of you who are around for that, well, you can attest. I tried for an hour straight. And you know what? I got him down to about 75%, 70% after trying multiple things, but it pretty much came down to it was just going to have to be a time and brute force method because he would just kill everything I had. Yeah, for those of you mentioning how D3 is better, I agree, D3 is really, really fun. And the expansion did improve the gameplay, but my issue is, this is the problem being a summoner. I'm all clogged up here. The issue I have right now is just, like, going back and playing Diablo 2 reminded me even further how, like, finding good loot, like getting a set item, I have not found, I'm level 27, you know, played this character for 12 hours, haven't found a single unique item. I have found and gambled, though, 8 set items over the course. And that was very intentional, like gambling certain items. But no, not even a single unique, which equates to a legendary in Diablo 3, for those of you. But I could play Diablo 3 for 12 hours straight and find an unbelievable amount of legendaries and even possibly set items leveling. And at max level, it's even more ridiculous. Diablo 3 at the moment feels a lot more like Diablo 2 did, compared to the way Diablo 2 felt when it came out. In a certain way, because you had to find your own items, but it kind of kills, for me, it kills the vibe that, like, everything is account bound. Everything is bound up. And I don't know. It doesn't have the same feel. You're so extremely powerful in Diablo 3. Even leveling, you're just extremely powerful, and it's really fun. Don't get me wrong. I love the feeling of being powerful, but it makes it to where, like, I don't feel like I want to play for very long, because I'll play for 30 minutes or even an hour, and that's fun, but it doesn't feel like there's any challenge. And you know, and you can pump up the difficulty, but you're playing the exact same game. It feels, well, for lack of a better comparison, like looking for raids versus normal raids versus, you know, hard mode raids in World of Warcraft. And honestly, I'm much more interested in just playing content. If I can play it easy, I will play it easy, just because, you know, I don't have the most time in the world to play games. With a game like Diablo 2, the way it's set up, old school, where there's only one difficulty level, this is the content. It feels like the content is so much more meaningful to me. Because this is Chaos Sanctuary, normal difficulty, you know, like playing through the game the first time. And the difficulties in this game are based on levels, not based on what you want to pick, versus Diablo 3. And, you know, this is all just my opinion. This is why I'm doing it. And, you know, everyone has differing opinions. You know, a lot of you haven't played Diablo 2. Some of you have. So some of you probably understand what I'm saying. It's the way I equate it to, it's a lot like playing vanilla WoW, Burning Crusade WoW, or something like that, versus modern WoW, where you can play the Siege of Orgrimmar and Looking for Raid, which I've done, normal difficulty or hard mode. I played through the entire, you know, Pandaria on Looking for Raid difficulty. Did every single raid on Looking for Raid. You know, it was fun. I got to see the content. If I had a lot more time to play the game, I'd probably try on normal difficulty, try to get into a guild or something like that. But I don't have the time, and I'm much more interested in the content. And it just feels like, again, like a diminishing returns. Yeah, I can play on normal difficulty raids or something like that, and get better loot, but it's the same loot, just better. Looks the same, but better. I don't know how to describe it. It feels cheapened. that's pretty much how I can describe it. And with the current state of Diablo 3, it's a lot of fun. It's especially fun like when you're playing while your friends are playing, because you can, you know, nerd over loot drops and stuff. And some of my friends are still playing it. But just with the current state, I am just not the most interested right now. Which is why I decided to go back to Diablo 2, to the gritty, unforgiving feel of this game. This game feels so much more evil than Diablo 3. And while you can argue that Diablo 3 has better gameplay, the engine feels amazing. It doesn't feel as evil, doesn't feel like as much of a game to me. It doesn't feel like Diablo. I don't know, it feels like they got bored with the story. And so, my friends, that is why I'm playing Diablo 2 right now. I would be playing Diablo 1, but I decided against it just because Diablo 1 is so slow. There's no run option. You have to walk through the entire game. And I felt a little bit more like playing Diablo 2 because I played this game more than I played Diablo 1. And I never actually beat Diablo 1. I got really, really far in it. But by the time I was actually getting close to beating Diablo 1, Diablo 2 had just come out. And my friends and I were just like, oh my gosh, Diablo 2 came out? There's a sequel? And so we bought Diablo 2 and never looked back. I would like to sometime on stream the entirety of Diablo 1. Ooh. If that wasn't ethereal. Man, yeah, I'm not going to use that. I'll just sell it. I've been searching for a good wand. But you know, what it comes down to is I really like the game, like, I don't know how to say it, like the stories in games, the feel of games. Diablo 1 feels extremely evil. Diablo 2 still feels extremely gritty and evil. I love that. I love the way it makes you feel when you play. It's like reading a good book. Diablo 3's story, in comparison, though it's not terrible, I just think it's crap compared to like what they did with Diablo 1 and 2. And the feel of the game is crap. Comparatively, I still think it's a good game. I did play through it, and I put countless hours, but like going back and playing Diablo 2 makes me realize how alone you feel in this game. You feel so like alone, and like everything is on you. Like everything you do it matters. I don't even know how to put it. Besides that, everything matters. In Diablo 3, yeah, it's a good game, but like nothing you're doing feels like it matters. All the characters around you are carrying out the storyline. You're just kind of helping out. And I don't really know how else to put it. That's kind of how I feel about it. Yeah. KMI512 said it right. The atmosphere in these games is what makes these games. And the item systems, you know, like Diablo 3 is just carrying on the tradition of the item system. Though I think it died. Oh, my Merc died really quickly. I didn't even get a chance to heal him. Kind of wanted to go back to town anyways. But yeah, atmosphere is a big part of games for me. Like playing through Bioshock 1, you know, for the first time, that game had some really good atmosphere. Created a really good atmosphere. Doom 3, you know, another game that I think had really, really good atmosphere. Diablo 3's atmosphere, though it's not bad, it's nothing compared to this. Nothing at all. And since, you know, I don't have the most time to play games as much as I used to, just because I'm recording so much nowadays. It's just, when I want to play a game, I want to play a game with a really good atmosphere. Like this game. If the Or at least sometimes. Sometimes I'm down playing, like, whatever. Just a really good game in general. Like, I'll load up Hearthstone and play it for 30 minutes, an hour, because it's just it's a good game. As far as card-wise, you know, feels like Magic the Gathering, and it's really easy to pull up and play for me. But when I feel like putting a lot of time into a game, I want the atmosphere to envelop me, and this game does that. And it's an old game, and it's to me, it's... Oh, I forgot to revive my mercenary. Probably should have healed him. Saved me 5,000 gold. D3 did a siege setting better than LOD. The Act 3 siege setting was pretty good, but I still didn't feel like I was being sieged. I don't know how to put it. Like in Diablo 2, in Act 5, whenever you're being sieged, the entire field is the siege. There's no background, graphics. I don't know. Like, I felt like Diablo 2 had a better siege. I'll say that. Because in Diablo 3, you looked down past the ramparts and you saw all the sieges happening graphic-wise. But when it came down to it, you know, you were only killing a very small portion of what was sieging. Because everything else was, like, way below you, down past the ramparts, you know. Ooh. That is actually a decent belt. But yeah, I don't know. That's the way I feel about it. Because, like, in Diablo, you know, I feel like they could have done such a better job because, yeah, you can present perspective and, you know, put the rest of the siege below the rest of the map and do like Diablo 3 did. But the thing is, it did not feel like you were taking part in, like, the siege. The rest of it was, most of it was below you. And if you look down, if you paid attention in Diablo 3, there were like thousands of enemies below you besieging the keep. And what realm am I playing on? I'm on US East. I've always been a US East person. I did have one brief outing on US West. It didn't last long. None of my friends played on it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, the entire siege happened in Diablo 2 in the beginning, and you took part in all of it, you know. 3 strength. It's pretty crappy. I'm gonna go back to town and sell these, actually. I'm trying to save up some gold so I can do some gambling later on. The Bridge of Corsic did have a lot of action, and it was good, but honestly, I don't know. I really like I like taking part in everything. Because if you're supposed to be the hero, then I want to, like, take part. Where, like, if you look past the Bridge of Corsic, so many more enemies were down there than the ones you were fighting. I mean, I don't know if you looked, but, like, it looks like you're just taking part in, like, the tip of the iceberg, comparatively. Whereas, you know, what is it, the Bloody Foothills? Is that what it's called? It's been a long time. I haven't even hit there yet. Like, that's it. That is the siege. And you're out there with NPCs fighting, and, you know, those NPCs are actually fighting. They're not laying on the ground going, "It's hopeless. Oh my god." You know, you're actually fighting them, with them, and they're barbarians, and this kept happening last time. I'd have to, like, keep clicking on this. Solo Kodo, yeah, still 7 greed items and 0 uniques. I found 7 greens. It's found and gambled, actually. I think I found 5 and gambled 2, but no uniques. Come on, seal. This happened last time I played. This seal, I think, is bugged. Yeah, and it takes a while to hit. Yeah, Clutch, I kind of agree with you. I do think that World of Warcraft had a big influence on the way they developed Diablo 3. And I think that's partly why. Because of the current state of WoW. They'd made a lot of decisions based on, well, their success with WoW, their monetary success with WoW. And though, you know, modern WoW is a very refined game, it's very watered down, in my opinion. Those of you who have seen my WoW streams, you guys know how I feel about that. It feels very watered down to me. And I think Diablo 2 is not watered down at all. In fact, it's very brutal and evil. And pretty unforgiving. we got a nice surplus of potions going on. I'm not trying to, like, bad talk modern games. It's just, like, it's kind of like whenever you load up, I don't know, like, a lot of people bad talk Minecraft, but, like, Minecraft is brutal. You know, like, the first time you play that game, there's nothing watered down about it. It may, you know, kids may play it. It may be a kid's game. May be very popular with kids, but, like, I remember the first time I loaded up that game, I was like, holy crap, you know, you are on your own. You feel like the entire story is up to you. The entire gameplay is up to you. There's no story, really. You create your own game. And with a game like Diablo 1 and 2, yes, there are even stories laid out in front of you, but, like, it's up to you. You are the one doing it. You're not being, like, you know, like, NPCs following you around, helping you out, doing this, doing that. Like, you know, NPCs are taking part in the story even more than you are, and you don't even care about them. Diablo 2 and 1, I mean, you are the story. You know, you are the one out there. You can go in any direction you want. It's not hallways. And you do it. And it's awesome. It feels like you are writing your own story, or, like, at least taking part in the story. Killing Mephisto, you don't even know anything really about him. You have to kind of search out the lore. NPCs in town will give you, like, bits and pieces. But yeah, it's just the atmosphere, I think. I love it. It's good. Very gritty. Seal bug, sometimes your position is not acquired. Oh, okay, so it actually is a documented bug. Well, that makes sense. You're still in the Valkyrie WoW guild? Well, for those of you in Valkyrie WoW still, I quit playing for about a month because I got extremely busy, and I talked about this last time, but for while that month or month and a half that I did not play, something happened, and they took the guild away from me, gave it to someone else, and then the next time I logged on, they had kicked me from my own guild. So that's one of the main reasons I'm not playing Valkyrie right now, because it kind of blew my mind that, like, I was ousted from my own guild and then kicked from it. So yeah. And I'm not a big drama dude, so I'm just not into that. I said nothing. He just didn't log back on. Ooh, a Grimwand. And here comes Big D, but we're not gonna fight him now because we're gonna wait till 30. Because yeah, last time it was not good. We're gonna take this great sword, some Juve pot, and other stuff to sell. And we are gonna. So basically, here's my plan. Because last time I basically realized I can't kill Diablo by myself until I'm level 30. Because of my build that I'm going, because of revives and stuff.
Hail to you, champion.
Oh yeah, swords. Life tap 20k. Oh, I love it. So, man, we're getting to the point to where we have, like, enough rejuves. We don't even need health potions. I like that. And we pretty much don't need mana potions, mana potions. Oh, I really want to gamble this circlet. Really want to, but I should wait till 30. Inventory management, best part of Diablo 2. I agree. It actually is really fun. There's no auto adjust, or I don't even know what I'm trying to say. So many rejuves. Yeah, right before I quit stream last time, I found that. I'm not really sure why I'm keeping it, other than the fact that maybe I need fire resist sometime. A little bit, you know, maybe I'll find another piece of Saigon's. Have I played the new Wolfenstein? No. I've watched a few streams of it, though. I consider playing it. I just... Oh, man. I keep so busy. Like, even today, like, I should probably be recording right now. I should probably be loading up my Cubase file and recording. But, you know, life's not all about keeping your head to the grindstone. You know, you gotta have some fun sometimes. And I just felt like waking up this morning, loading up some D2, and not thinking about recording. So, well, yeah, what I guess what I was getting at is, I don't have enough time to play games as much as I would love. Like, if I could have it like my way, I would play games all the time. I would have played the new Wolfenstein already. I bought the Stick of Truth last month. Haven't even opened the freaking package. So yeah, my time to actually, you know, sit here and play games is limited. And so when I do, I really cherish it. I do play games every week, but it's to get gameplay footage for games that I'm doing acapellas of, making videos. But it doesn't even feel like I'm playing the game. It feels like I'm playing it for a completely different motive, which I am. I'm not playing them for fun, even though I do have fun. I'm playing them to get footage, you know, and when I get that footage, I exit out of the game and move on. Sometimes I get caught up playing it. And sometimes I can't get my own footage because I don't have the save file, so I have to get friends who have the footage. But that doesn't happen very often. Usually it's my own footage. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Stick of Truth. Do I like games that play like Monster Hunter? I really like Monster Hunter. I really like the feel of getting out on your own and finding things and creating things, and, you know. Actually, I play I've been playing Arcade, an MMO that's not out yet, on stream, and I would be playing that right now. But for some reason, I just have a Diablo 2 bug. I want to play this game. But yeah, that's why I like MMOs, like good fantasy-based MMOs, because you know, it has that feeling where you're out on your own, you know, and finding things. And if you do feel like trading and grouping with people, you can, but you don't have to. Hence why I like the Diablo series. Ooh, they're rare. But yeah, I'll be the first to admit I like these type of games, adventure RPGs in general. Even story-based RPGs, you know, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, whatever. This stuff's really fun. Those are a lot more like, for me, diving into a big book. Where it's like the entire story is just waiting for you to discover it. And a game like Diablo feels in between that to me. Where, yeah, there is a big story to take part in. But, the gameplay is, I mean, there are people who play the Diablo series who care, especially now that Diablo 3 is out, who don't care at all about the story. They just care about the gameplay. So, like adventure RPGs, you can solely focus on gameplay and ignore the story and, you know, have a good time. Whereas a game like Final Fantasy, you know, an old school RPG, or even like Zelda, you kind of, the story takes precedence over the gameplay in most cases. In a lot of cases. Speaking of Saigon's set, look what we just found. Saigon's Greaves. So is that 8? It's either 8 or 9. I think that's 9. That is 9 greed items without a single unique. I cannot believe that. Wow. And that's gonna sell for a lot. Well, let's man, so I have 2 pieces of the Saigon set. I should probably put those on. I can't though, because I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength. My nose is kind of stuffed up this morning. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because allergies.
Greetings.
I can't believe that. Those are actually really, really good. Yeah, I'll lose magic fine, but man, playing by yourself in a game like this, everything feels so significant. Finding a set item like this. You know what? I'm probably gonna start pumping strength because I want to start wearing things that I find, and I can't wear either of these. And I think there's a nice little 2-set bonus to wearing pieces of Saigon's set. Maybe I'll find another like 5 strength charm or something. Chrono Trigger was so-so. I think it has a really good story. And for its time, it was just the music, the story, the gameplay was just really, really good. I think a lot of people who didn't play games back when they came out, it's hard to realize like how revolutionary they were when they came out. Like I spoke about this last stream. We got a friend who never played Diablo 1 or Diablo 2, right? They did play Diablo 3 when it came out because of all the hype. Because they played World of Warcraft, so they wanted to experience another Blizzard game. And, you know, his friends were talking about how legendary Diablo 2 is and how it's still amazing. And he went and played Diablo 2, and he was just like, this sucks. You know? He was just like, straight up, he was honest with me. He's like, I think it sucked. And I had another friend who never played Zelda Ocarina of Time. You know, revolutionary game when it came out. There was nothing, you know, there was no 3D RPG that was done that well at that time. And so he went and played it, and he actually beat the whole thing. And his verdict was, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't that good. And it's hard to have that perspective, you know. It's like if, you know, you're just getting into rock and roll music as like a late teen or something, right? And you're just discovering, and you've been listening to like, I don't even know, all the new music that's out, new bands. And you're trying to describe how revolutionary Led Zeppelin was, and the Beatles were, maybe Hendrix, you know, for like the history of rock and roll and how like they kind of, you know, like why they matter. And then they listen to this and it's like, that's just not as good as the bands I'm listening to nowadays, you know, technically or whatever. If you show them like Dream Theater, you know, newer bands, like any type of progressive rock, you know, newer, I don't even know, like, I don't even keep up with a lot of that stuff, but like just new music in general. You know, the technical ability of musicians has just been pushed and pushed and pushed. Like a lot of death metal nowadays is just insane, technically compared to back then. And they listen to that and they're like, "This is crap." Like I've had people that told me like the Beatles are just crappy. They're a crappy pop group, and I'm just like, dude, it's all about perspective. It is all about perspective. Perspective is extreme. Ooh, an experience shrine. And so like, for me, like, I was exposed to a lot of perspective when I was young because my dad exposed me to a lot of, and heck, my parents both exposed me to like music from like all generations, new, old, and in between. And so I think I got a nice perspective on like music itself. But games are the same way. Like if you go back and play Pong, right? You know, and if a kid, or heck, even an adult has no idea like the history of Pong, they're just gonna go, this is a crappy, simple game, just because that's the surface. But when you start to understand the history behind why Pong is revolutionary, why the Beatles were revolutionary, Led Zeppelin, heck, even early blues groups that came before rock and roll, I mean, it's all, to me, it's very, very parallel. And you know, I've got a good friend, he goes by the gaming name of Faye, which is from Xenogears, by the way. And, whoa, my dude, don't die. Oh, no, he didn't die. Good, I saved him. He did drink a rejuve, and I need to save oh, he died. I'm talking too much, not paying attention. But yeah, he's got a kid. I think he's 6 now. And you know what? He had his kid play through Zelda 1, Link to the Past, Super Mario Brothers, all sorts of old school games, right? Before he let his kid get into games like Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, even Minecraft. So his kid is growing up with perspective, with good perspective, to where he understands the history and can maybe even make complex connections between, you know, old games and new games that he's playing. And I think that's the right way to do it. Just like, you know, if you're letting your kid listen to like modern pop country and that's it, they're gonna have a skewed perspective on music growing up. Okay, let's pay a little more attention here. This is the hardest. As a summon necromancer, this is the hardest seal to open. These guys just decimate your minions. Absolutely decimate. Alright, let's go open some seals. Let's go do the second hardest one. Oh, this is a big group. Oh man, I cannot wait till I get my revive army. It's gonna be so awesome. Until then, I'm just gimped. It's kind of exciting though, because like, it feels like I'm playing through the game kind of on hard mode because of how gimped I am right now. Oh my gosh, 2.2 levels, and I started getting my revives. Oh man, I can't wait. I am pumped. That's not gonna sell for. Ooh, that's probably gonna. 2 to battle orders? Spear mastery? Spear mastery doesn't matter. I was thinking about how like old battle order barbs they would wear spears. But that's not the type of spear I'm thinking of. Like they wore spears because they had battle orders on them, right? Shouts? Yeah, shout skills. See, after all that talk about, you know, history and perspective, going back and playing Diablo 2 feels a lot to me like, in a way, going back and listening to some old, like, 70s rock records, maybe even some 80s rock records, versus, you know, popping in some new stuff. These are the only summons I can have right now, yeah. For those of you joining right now, I only have these summons because I pumped up Skeleton Mastery because this matters in the end. I'm pumping up Summon Resist now because this matters in the end. These two are what I'm using right now, but these do not matter. Once I hit level 30, I'm going to start pumping Revive. And I will have wasted basically no skills, which is what I'm into. I don't want to waste any skills, especially since I'm all self-found doing this myself. Kill him. Spamming amp damage just to like maximize the damage. Yes, Corsair, you're right. I did stream for 12 hours the last time I streamed. Leveled this character in the process. And I was super exhausted.
I need mana.
I will admit that, you know, last time one of the reasons why I streamed that long is because my voice wasn't doing very well. I couldn't really record because I hadn't got much sleep the night before. And I will admit I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night for whatever reason. I slept very restlessly. I could probably record some progression tracks or something like that, but more decisive. Double rares, man. I won't complain. We'll sell some stuff. Let's go identify some stuff first.
Greetings.
Sound level is perfect. Could talk a bit louder. I'm honestly not talking very loud. A dual leech sword. That actually meant a lot. Back in Classic. 20,000. Bam, there's some gold. Is the sound any better now? I kind of had my mic angled in a weird way. I kind of want to save my gold to gamble on things when I hit level 30 because I can start getting like skills. Alrighty. Let me go ahead. I may pick up a few mana potions. Mana potions. Called it mana my whole life until I found out the real pronunciation is mana. By someone who lives in Japan, actually. Wow. That was extremely quick death of both of my skeletons. Yeah, my skeletons are showing their weakness now. Even with maxed out skeleton mastery and summon resist, it's just like they get chewed up and spit out by some mobs, which is depressing. but revives have much more longevity. If I'm not mistaken, revives carry on a lot of their the original monsters' damage and health, possibly? If I'm wrong, someone should tell me this. Do a Deckard Cain impression. Stay a while and listen. I'm an old man. My weakness is butterflies. I can travel the whole world and not get killed by anything, but I encounter one single butterfly and poof, I'm dead. Okay, the easiest seal as a summon necromancer. These guys don't do any damage to my skeletons, it seems like. And level 28. Oh man, 2 more levels, guys. And don't die, Merc. Merc's getting on to bit. Spoilers? Are you serious? Diablo 3 has been out for 2 years now. 2 years. I can't even believe it's been that long, honestly. It doesn't feel like that game has been out 2 years, but as you get older, time passes more and more quickly, doesn't it?
Good evening.
What do you need?
That is the first Gothic plate I've found. How is that compared to what my Merc is using? Fire resist versus poison resist. This is actually pretty bad, but it's got a lot of defense on it. Let's see here. 391 versus 459. I may just have him wear that for now. Though this fire resist is important for Diablo, we'll probably find something in between. Do I have a favorite Beatles album? Revolver is really good. So is... Man, it's really hard to beat. Just overall, their last album they put out, Abbey Road. Why not do some Mephisto runs as well? You know, I could break it up and do a Mephisto run. Summon resist. Boom! Every one of those feels like a big deal. Strength. Let's go do a Mephisto run. Why not? It's been a while since I've done that. I talked about doing Mephisto runs jokingly after I killed Mephisto, but I actually didn't. It's actually fun to do Mephisto runs. He drops good loot, and it's fun to kill him. And all those the council members. Revolver is awesome. I agree. It is so good. Have I watched any animes?
I need a key.
I've watched some, and then I've read some mangas. Wow. The last anime I watched was Attack on Titan, because I heard so much about it from friends and acquaintances, and I'm lagging really bad. That was scary. Man, these guys still hurt, even after going through all. Why in the world do I have a mana potion instead of a rejuve there? I really don't know why. Let's go ahead and pick up some stuff. That has no skills on it. Hey, one of my friends showed up. How's it going, dude? I don't have a camera on. So my friend Lee is here. He's one of my old buddies who we started WoW together. We played MMOs before WoW even came out. I think he even played some Diablo 2, though not like I did. Hey, man, grab a chair. I slept last night, not for as long as I wanted to. Yeah, we played Mu Online together before WoW came out. We talked about WoW before it came out. We were prepared for it. He helped me build a computer to play WoW. My very first assembled PC is pretty much all because of him. Oh, please be 2, please. No, that's 1. Dang it. So yeah, dude, I got my level 28 necromancer. He's on his way to 30, so I can get revive, which is what I'm going toward, and I'm extremely weak until then. So how much Diablo 2 did you actually play? You played single player, right? Yeah, Lee played Red Moon, right? That was your big RPG back in the day.
I played some little ones, like, I think it was like Hellbreath.
Yeah. There are a lot of those good Korean RPGs. Mu was great until they implemented their cash shop. I never played that. Okay, I'm doing a Mephisto run right now. Do you remember Mephisto? There's the entrance.
Did the servers reset?
The ladder?
Yeah.
I think the ladder guys, when does the ladder reset? Someone was saying on Sunday that the ladder reset in 9 days, which would make it like 5 days? So, if that happens, I may make a new ladder character. If this one works out, I may like remake him or do something new. I don't know. Or heck, maybe me and Lee will play together. We'll do a duo. We'll stream that. That would be fun. Would you be down for that?
Yeah, man.
I was just telling the stream how the main reason I'm playing Diablo 2 is because of the atmosphere. So much more evil than Diablo 3 and my mage. And my... Oh my gosh. Oh my god. It's still... The art style is so classic. It really is. It's just... It's timeless. Is that... Am I gonna have to go... I'm gonna have to go... I'm gonna have to go back to the previous level. What am I doing? Okay, where are you? Dead monsters. There we go. The life of a summoner. You know, if I could do this all over again, I may make... Or dead monsters. I may have to look at this. I would almost want to make an Amazon and do a clasped orb. Just because it's a little faster. It's faster leveling. It's more dangerous, but I don't know. I wanted to do Necro because I haven't done it in so long, and just to feel 27th thought so. Okay, so 4 days until the ladder resets? Wow. So I'm actually playing on the last days of this ladder. I didn't even realize that. Didn't even realize it. Let's see if we can not die this time. I need to amp damage everything in sight. I still... Man, lightning enchanted. Yeah, the art style of this game is just great because it's not like crappy 3D graphics. Like everything is drawn. I don't really need that. Okay, go ahead and pick that up. Why not? Being a pack rat, but not really because I'm identifying everything and selling it. Thank you, Kane. Thank you, Deckard Kane. That's sold for okay. 7K, 8K, and 15K. Let's go to Act 4 and sell that and come back because that is worth more than this act can offer. Smooth, what about Paladin? Man, Paladin would be fun. Yeah, 18.4K, worth it. Paladin is actually really fun. Like Hammer Paladin? Or Smite Paladin? I don't know. playing self-found is a whole different animal, because when I played Diablo 2, I really didn't play self-found. I played Battle.net like I'm playing right now, but I played with people. I did the trading game. I would use items that I found on other characters, on new characters, and you know what? I thought for a self-found, getting back into Diablo 2 style, just like playing through it, I thought maybe a summon necro would be the way to do it. And, you know, so far I'm glad, because it's been really safe. There hasn't been a whole lot of risk involved, which is kind of what I wanted. I didn't want to, like, play for 6 hours and die. And especially since I hadn't played this game in a long time.
What was your first character?
My very first character was a barbarian. And yeah, he was a barb. He was not leap. He was crap. Don't die, don't die. Oh, did I just give him a mana potion? I think I just gave him a mana potion. Alright. So he's got an army with him. Mephisto has buddies. He does. Trap Assassin was really fun, but you had to have items. Like, that's the problem. It's like, when you build a lot of these awesome characters, they need items to do well. Or else they're kind of crappy. Especially starting off, like, really crappy. Yeah, my very first character was not a whirlwind barb. He was just, like, straight up melee. He had leap, but he didn't, like, use it as his primary skill. I don't really remember what I did. It was really bad, though. I remember looking back and going, man, that was not the way to do it. That's what I remember saying. I eventually did make a whirlwind barbarian with a polearm. I found a nice, what was it, level 2 superior polearm. What was that called? Becte Corbin? If that's even how you pronounce it. Becte Corbin? It's like a French name. Don't die, dude.
Use that. Thanks.
Why do I have... Oh, I keep feeding him mana potions. Mana potions. Oh, I really want to pronounce that right. Mana. Not mana. It's not mana. See, melee. I'm gonna make a melee character and use mana potions. Most expensive item I sold on eBay was, well, legit for real item, not like a unique, was a lance in classic for $257, I think is what it sold for, which blew my mind. I was so pumped. And then, of course, late, you know, like Lord of Destruction hit, and you know, I'd sell Harlequin crests for $300 a pop, $250 a pop. And that would happen all the time. It was ridiculous. As a 15, 16-year-old kid, that was ridiculous money. That's how I built my first PC. Though I didn't build it, I had someone else build it. I should probably Gothic shield it up.
So who's buying the items anyway?
Who's buying the items? I talked about this on stream last time. The people who bought the items were usually middle-aged men.
Good to see you.
I remember the guy who bought that lance was a 40-something-year-old dude, late 40s. His profile picture on AOL was him in he had gray hair, he was wearing a purple polo shirt, and he had an ashtray next to him, and he was in a bowling alley. And I remember talking to my friends being like, God, I got all these like middle-aged men, you know, as a 15, 16-year-old kid buying like Diablo 2 items for me, and they were putting big money down. They were buying Frostburns for $50, 45, Silks of the Victor for 80 to 100. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, that was my life for several years, was selling Diablo 2 items. And I don't know. That's just good memories, but it taught me a lot about business and stuff like that. And later online, heck, you remember me selling items on Moo Online, right?
Yeah, but did anyone else actually like cheat you off?
No. Oh yeah. Well.
Besides Moo.
Yeah, Moo Online, I got scammed. But I never got scammed. People attempted to scam me in Diablo 2, but I was really, really cautious. You know, money-wise, they would say, hey, I'll send, you know, send me the money first and blah, 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 or something like that. Or I don't even remember how they did it. Like, give me the item first. I do have 3 topaz. I should probably, let's go ahead and do these. Chat is talking about how I have gems to transmute.
Did you make more money on WoW? Or did you?
Well, World of Warcraft, I made money by selling accounts, which was, you know. Actually, I may or may not have sold accounts in WoW. You know, since it was against terms of service. But you know, just theoretically speaking, I could have made more money on WoW by selling accounts. I don't know, I just really like the economy in games. That's why I end up doing stuff like that. That's why with charms, 8 to life, fire resist 6. My big ones are 12% faster hit recovery, 15 to life, 3% lightning resist, and 6 to life. So not bad for my level. And I've got a 3 to dex just hanging out just in case I ever need any dex. But I don't really need dex right now. That Mephisto run was fun, but did I even get much experience? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention. I think Chaos Sanctuary runs are way to go right now.
Did you guys ever get banned in Blizzard? Diablo 2?
I actually did get banned once. It was very late in my Lord of Destruction career. I think I was a senior in high school by then, so I was like 17, 18. And it was at the point to where bots had started running rampant, and people that were running bots were finding so many more items than I was, and items were going down in value. And so I wasn't making near the money I used to make playing. So I decided to run a bot. The first time ever, and I had my buddy, Michael. Look at that! Is that my 10th green item? That's my 10th set item. I think I found/gambled 10 green items, not a single normal unique. This is insane. I can't believe it. And I found this one already. Yep, I found and vendor. No, I gave that one away on stream actually to some guy. I can't believe that. I don't think I've ever found that many set items without finding a single unique. But what was I talking about? I don't remember. Oh yeah, the only time I ever got banned was so I had my buddy help me set up a bot because I was just like, well, if all these other people are botting and driving down item prices, I may as well. If I can't beat them, I'm going to join them. So I set up a sorceress bot on hardcore because hardcore items were still going for decent cash. And that sorceress did Neelathok runs while I was at school. I'd come home during lunch and, you know, check out what the bot had found, and it was usually pretty good stuff. This was 2002, early 2003. You know, so LOD had been out for well over a year, 2 years possibly. And I remember I hit 99. That was my only 99 I ever hit. And shortly, I think it was the day after I hit 99 on that character, I died. I think I died the day I hit 99. And then the day after, that account was banned. So, it's a sad story. I hit 99 on a botted hardcore sorceress, the only bot I ever ran in Diablo 2. Died, and then the day after, Blizzard did a scan, and I got banned. But that was not after. That was after I'd found. I think I found Schaefer's Hammer on that character, the only one I ever really found. I found a Wind Force on that character, lots and lots of just other you know, Harlequin Crest and things like that while I was at school, and it generated some pocket change for me when I was a senior. Yeah, and I eventually did. I bought another disc. In fact, I think I took a huge break from Diablo at that point. I don't remember what I was playing at that point. I think what did I play? No, who wasn't out? Well, yeah, that was a whole year and a half later. Have I ever thought about playing modded Skyrim? I have thought about that actually. This computer, yeah, dude. I bought this video card to play Skyrim, pretty much. It ate Skyrim up easily, and I've rebuilt this computer since then. It has the same video card, but the CPU and RAM and everything else, and you know, even solid state hard drive are faster than. But yeah, I probably should get a new video card, honestly. Floppy disk. Oh man. And there's a circlet. I really should just imbue a circlet and get it over with. I still have not used my normal imbue, guys. A dark wizard? The dark side of smooth. Are you talking about my bot? My sorcerer's bot that I had when I was a senior? That was really fun. That felt... It was just one of those deals where it's like, you know what? I really enjoyed playing Diablo, but if everyone was running bots and driving down the price of items, I couldn't do anything else. If I wanted to play that game, I had to like play the game. Play their game. Well, I remember the first big hit was whenever September 11th that event happened. For whatever reason, that day and forever after, Diablo items sold for about half the price.
You remember the gas prices when?
Oh yeah. I remember the day driving home from school after 9/11 hit, and it was like, you know, gas was like $1 at that point, and then driving home it was like $2.50 or something, $2.30, and then the line was like a quarter mile long, and I remember just driving past that line going, why are people panicking? Yeah, I think people just get in panic mode about things that they don't understand or they're scared of, and I honestly think that's why Diablo 2 items on eBay, like Harlequin crests were going for $250, $300, and September 11th happened, and bam, Harlequins were down to $150. No one would buy them for any more than $150, and it was the same way with all the other big items. And I think people just went in panic mode and stopped spending on, you know, luxury items like buying video game items for real cash, things like that. That may have happened in other aspects of the economy as well. I don't know. I was only... How old was I back then? Was I 17? I think I was 16, 17 when that happened.
I was like a freshman.
I think I was 17. Yeah. Maybe about to turn 17. I don't remember. Maybe about to turn 18, actually. And gas has stayed high ever since. You're right about that. And for what reason? Speculation. Yeah, I don't have Bone Wall yet. I'll probably mess with Bone Wall later. It just seemed like a goofy way to play. Because Bone Wall also stops my summons. I guess I could Bone Wall in front of myself and make it safer, but hey man, I'm having fun. The way I'm playing right now. Ooh, a skill shrine. That means I can summon a few more skellies. For the time being. Let's do it. I need mana. I need mana. That means 3 skeletons and 2 mages? But I drank a mana potion. What?
Not enough mana.
Or did I not? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm going crazy. So we have... Oh, and they instantly died? What? Come on. Or did my skill... Oh, my skill shrine ran off, that's why. I thought they, like, instantly killed him, but it was my skill shrine that killed him. No, don't die, Zanarhi! Crap. Still not used to pushing shift. Chat. I played Diablo for so many years, and I didn't realize that, like, shift 2 or shift 1 will, like, feed your... I'm pushing alt.
Thanks.
I'm retarded. I'm still not... Yeah.
Thanks.
As I was saying, I am not used to feeding my mercenary with shift plus the potion. I usually just... I always did this. Boom. Dragged. I went to bed at like 2 and slept restlessly till about 9? No. 7 or 8. I don't know. I really don't know. It was one of those nights where I just like tossed and turned for whatever reason. I can't believe it.
I can't carry anymore.
That's 11, guys. That is 11 set items without a single unique. That's not even a good one. I can't believe it. I am dumbfounded by this playthrough. I don't even know what to say. Wow.
I am overburdened.
It's ridiculous.
Hello.
Did you play Diablo 1 before you played D2?
Yes, I did. Oh wow, and look, they're both Kleeglaws. I found 2 Kleeglaws items in a row, and I found 2 Kleeglaw shields total. That is unbelievable. Well, guys, it's time to re-roll a freaking paladin, a zealot and put on this stuff. I may save that just in case I do something like that. I don't know. That is actually not that good. So 11 set items in a row. I found 11 set items and not a single normal unique. That is depressing. I loved that gold color of the unique. And it won't happen. It won't happen. Okay, well, let's go see if we can find a real unique. I don't mind finding set items as long as they're good ones, like Saigons. Heck, even give me like, what is that necro set, that early necro set? The cap, Infernal Wand, Infernal Torch. I'll take that stuff, man. Give me that. I don't want Kleeglaws. And Hisaru's. I mean, Hisaru's belt's okay, but I found one and gambled another one. I don't need them. This is what makes Diablo so fun, is you have no idea what's going to drop. And, you know, that goes for Diablo 3 as well, but Diablo is just like a loot fest. Diablo 3 is like a loot fest now. Unbelievable loot fest. It's like, yeah, you can't trade items with your friends unless you play with them, but here, we'll give you more. I don't know, that's my gripe. That is my gripe. I'll gripe about it. You guys are going to hear me gripe. I won't gripe too much. Big packs are just intense. Yeah, give me a worm skull. Unique necro helm. I'll take that. Oh, dude, what if I found Frostburns? Oh my gosh, things like it's things like Frostburns and Worm Skull and like even Silks of the Victor, like these early uniques that are just mage fists. They're just so good. They changed everything for a caster. Gnarled staff. Thanks. Does that have skills on it? It does.
I need mana.
I need mana. Are there any mana? There's one. Yay, the seal worked.
What resolution are you playing right now?
800 by 600. That's the highest. That's the highest it offers. I mean, look at this. This is an 800 by 600 game, but look how good the art is. It's like timeless. Gritty and evil looking, man. I think in many cases it looks, well, the art style is better than Diablo 3 with its nice 3D models. It's not the same when you... I don't know. I griped about this earlier. People are probably sick of hearing me griping. I wonder... Let's go sell these things.
Good day.
Greetings.
Those are pure crap. And that sells for 20,000. And that's 3,000. Guys, we're almost to 250,000 gold, which is the highest I've been in this playthrough so far. And I saved a lot of gold. Okay. Yeah, D3 didn't look bad. It's just, it doesn't have the same feel as... I mean, look at these freaking demons over here. Nothing in Diablo 3 looks as evil as those. Nothing. These things, how creepy they look. It's like, those aren't... That isn't just nostalgic rose-colored glasses. I mean, just look at... Just dark and... Ugh, like, the colors even. You know, like the colors in D3... I think they're too vibrant. I think they just it made the. I think World of Warcraft had too much of an influence. Possibly. Okay, we've got a nice pile of corpses. May as well pick up a few more of these. 2 to clay golem. That's good. They'll sell. And let's do this. Come on. There we go. Oh, golem death. Keep him alive, keep him alive. Amp damage, amp damage, amp damage, amp damage. Look at that, double rares.
I can't carry anymore.
I can't carry anymore. Yes, you can. Organize your inventory, necromancer.
Not even death can save you from me.
Grr.
Yes.
Yes? Yes. What do we have here? 24% faster hit recovery. Cold resist. Man. That. Defense or hit recovery? I don't know. Hit recovery is really good. That's a lot of cold resist. I don't know. I would lose 100 armor. But hit recovery is pretty valuable. What do you guys think?
Hail to you.
How's this first scythe? 12 to 31. That's a lot of enhanced damage. What I'm wearing is better, though. What my merc is wearing is better. Yeah, I'm not finding any good necro offhands at all. Oh, man. 40k and 225,000 in my inventory. Yeah, I honestly think the Gothic plate, because that defense is just going to keep him alive. Hit recovery's nice, but that's a little bit more for offense. Let's make some money off that. Wow, we have a lot of gambling cash. A lot of it. Can't believe I have 2 Klee Glaws again. My crappy wand. I'm AFK for a sec, guys. Be right back. Okay, what was I doing? Did I already clear this? Or this is a new game, isn't it? So we're level 28.4. A low quality circlet. I'll take it. Let this game die peacefully? No. No, no, no. This game will never die. Obviously, D3. Man, do you realize how many people were hyped up for the D3 release? Like, just people were just waiting for it to be the next big game that they could invest years of their life into. And it wasn't as good as everyone hoped. it was good. The domain? Yeah, D2 is classic, D1 is classic. Yeah, they're rough around the edges, but they're classic. D3 has gone through so many changes because they just don't know what to do. Jay Wilson, man, double it. You got new designers. You got guys who worked on MMOs working on it, man. I mean, yeah, we talked about it earlier. Gameplay. Diablo 3 has great gameplay. The engine feels good. You can't deny that. But as far as just like a classic game, for the feel and the story, just, well, can't really beat it. Or at least, it's hard to beat it. Would I sing Tristram's song someday? Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a really big project. I've already, trust me, I arranged that song over a year ago, or at least most of it. It's not fully arranged. But once I got into that, I realized how big of a project that's going to be. I'll do Tristram someday. Man, that is going to be probably one of the longest videos I'll ever make. One of the longest acapella renditions. The song's almost 8 minutes long. You do it right. The way I see it's like this. You know, you look at modern games, like even like, you know, you got Skyward Sword out, you know, that's the newest Zelda game, Twilight Princess. It's still fun to go back and play Link to the Past. Link to the Past won't die. Because it's awesome, it's classic. Link's Awakening on Game Boy, sometimes I would rather play that than any of the newer Zelda games. And you talk about like Mario games, you know, you got Mario 64, the first 3D one, that's really fun. But, you know, go back and play Super Mario World. It's awesome. Super Mario Brothers 3, it's awesome. Those games will never die. They're amazing. And they're not rendered useless by the new games that come out. The new games just, you know, are newer takes on things. Hopefully improve on some aspects. But they change a lot, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing for, like, progression. You know, you want games to move forward and new ideas to come about, which D3 did implement some new stuff.
Like what, exactly?
Well, first of all, 3D graphics, a new nice 3D engine with physics. You had an integrated auction house in their system, so people didn't have to use third-party means. That was cool, but people didn't like that, you know, in the end. I liked it because I used it. Most of my friends didn't like it because they felt obligated to use it to get ahead, which honestly was how Diablo 2 was. If you wanted to get ahead, really, you had to do third-party trading. But you know, a lot of that stuff isn't really meant to be. Like, you know, the Diablo 2 auction, the Diablo 3 auction house, they got rid of for whatever reason. Partially probably due to outcry, partially due to the fact that they couldn't implement that on consoles, or they didn't want to, one or the other. Because, you know, that's also another really crappy aspect of Diablo 3, is that they, from the beginning, wanted to implement Diablo 3 as a console game, almost primarily. Which is why you have 4 player parties and not 8. They actually went backwards with Diablo 3 in that aspect. See, that's when you do stuff like that, that's crap. Yeah, I understand you want to pander to people who have PlayStation 3s and Xboxes, but man, having Diablo on a console is fine, but don't make it primarily console. I don't know. And yeah, okay, they did implement it well on a console. It does play fun. It's fun on a console, but Diablo's a PC game, man. That's its roots. It has so much more possibility on PC because well, PC is just, you can do more with PC games than you can with console games because of controls, because of just the way these games are made. And, you know, a lot of the Diablo player base was bitter when they realized that, like, the Diablo PC release was pretty much just a beta release for the console release. And, you know, even there was a developer or two who came out and admitted that. And that sucks. That straight up sucks. And, you know, you can say whatever you want, but, I mean, the developers came out and at least one or two, it was 1 or 2 developers that came out on forums and was like, you know, here, I'm going to go ahead and admit this. And this was before Diablo 3 was ever even announced on console. Oh, it sold great on console. It sold millions. Awesome for them, yeah. I mean, they planned it out that way, and, you know, of course it's going to work out. But, you know, monetarily, I don't know, man. I guess if you're going for money success and not really classic success, I don't know, like making a classic game that maybe doesn't sell as many copies on as many platforms, I don't know, it seems like especially down the line, a better option. Like, imagine if they would have compromised on D2. They're like, well, we want to sell this on the PlayStation 1 or the PlayStation 2, so we're gonna make it on 4 parties only, and we're gonna kind of dumb down the gameplay a bit. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make it to where, you know, we're gonna simplify the stats quite a bit. We'll make it a less complex game. I mean, imagine if they would have done that. This game would have not been near. I mean, I wouldn't be playing it right now. And yeah, they came out with a PlayStation 1 release of Diablo 1, but it was basically just a port of the PC version. And that was it was fine.
Greetings.
What do you need?
Nice. 13K. 44% extra gold for monsters. 1,500. That sold for crap. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I agree. Their goal should have been to get a game as good as D2 but better, but their goals were different. Blizzard had set different goals for Diablo 3 than they did Diablo 2. And that's fine, but the thing is, everything is cause and effect. If you decide to do certain things that are, you know, different, you're going to get different effects. You're going to get the effects that you want, you know, and yeah, you may sell more copies of the game on more platforms, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make a better game. Not to say Diablo 3 is a bad game. I played it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I don't know, man. I think they could have taken everything they learned from D2, everything, and just made a better version of Diablo 2. Like think about Path of Exile. What a much smaller company did with Path of Exile. And Path of Exile did so well that even Blizzard was forced to like implement some things from that, and it just blew my mind. I mean, think about this. Look at the font. This is even just a simple thing. You see this font? You see how iconic this is? It's awesome. It's unique. It feels like Diablo. What font do you have in what font do you have in Diablo 3? Does anyone know? It looks like Arial. You know, it's like the most bland bullcrap font that you could possibly think of. It looks like some beta implementation that they just kept in. That is one of the first things I noticed about Diablo 3, was the lack of awesome, demonic-looking, gothic font. That's just and you know that is like foundational stuff. That is foundational. Details. That's the stuff you remember. That's the subconscious stuff that makes you remember a game. That makes you feel a game. And, I mean, that's... And you can just go on from there, you know? Oh, don't die. Don't die, Zanarhi. I don't know. It's just... When I saw that, and I realized that they weren't going to change that, I realized that Blizzard's goals with Diablo 3 were different. They didn't care about making a game that was like Diablo 2 but better. They decided to do something else. And you know, in the expansion, yeah, like
we had people saying, you know, they're gonna fix it in the expansion, which never happened really.
They fixed a lot of stuff in the expansion. I will give them that.
How long has the game been out, and how long, you know, it's like...
Yeah, I mean, the game's been out 2 years, and by the time like Lord of Destruction came out, you know, Diablo was pretty much what we see it as. Diablo 2 is what we see it.
With the expansion, how long has it been out?
Oh yeah, it's been out for several months now.
And people are, you know, saying it sucks.
A lot of people like it, honestly. I mean, it is a better game. It was better. It's better than what it was, but I don't know. It's just, man, I don't know. It really, really bothers me that they weren't true to like the way the Diablo franchise was, like gothic, evil feeling, gritty. I don't know. Those are just some red flags that popped up. Like when I first started playing Diablo 3, that was just like, wait a sec, what? Because I saw that like just Arial font, bland, in beta, and I was like, okay, well maybe it's beta, you know, whatever. And then the game releases, and it's still Arial font. It's not the Diablo font anymore. And then you have like when a legendary, which is unique in Diablo 2, when a legendary drops, it just says sword or shoulders, chest piece. It's not like gothic plate, ancient armor, whatever, you know, like that was another red flag. I'll be honest, that made me realize, what are they doing? Is this on purpose? It's just like, I mean, it's just little things like that, you know. You get used to the little things. You get used to the fonts, you get used to that changes, but it's just like, why? What's your goal here? Is this a problem that you had to solve? I don't understand. If it's not broken and it actually works really well, why would you try to fix it? Why would you change it? Yeah, it really does feel like Blizzard's way of trolling. I don't know. That's...
Do you like the mod system in D3?
The D3 potion system, it's definitely streamlined. You get used to it. It's nice and streamlined, but it doesn't feel
So you like that
it doesn't feel as real, I guess. It feels more like Candy Crush or something like that, like some like solution where it's like, well, it doesn't really make sense in the game, but let's put it, because it'll make it easier on players, and it does. I'll be honest, it does make it easier. But making things easier, you know, Dungeon Finder, looking for raid in World of Warcraft is really easy, but it takes away from the game in a lot of aspects. I don't know. As in, you sit in town, you hop around in town, and you wait for your dungeon queue to pop. You teleport to the dungeon. You know, yeah, let's get some badges. It's no longer like, man, let's travel to Blackrock Depths. Let's travel here. Let's get a group together. And yeah, you know what? That's harder. It is. It's not as streamlined, but it makes the game feel like a real world, like a game. I don't even know. I don't know how to describe it. It really does kill the world. It turns it into League of Legends. And maybe that's what they want, you know, because you got like you got a game like League of Legends, who basically is Dota, which is you join a game that is a pre-made world and you play a game in it, and you do it, and there's nothing else but it, and you do it over and over again, and that's what you do, and it feels like Counter-Strike or something like that. And a lot of people are into that, and I'm not trying to be mean or bitter. It's just whenever you have a game that has elements that are not like Counter-Strike, or just a PvP arena or a PvE arena even, why do that? I don't know. And maybe it's just to sell more games. Maybe it's just to sell more games. And if that's their goal, okay. But be real with it, I guess. I don't know. It's like, imagine this. For those of you who have played Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind. Imagine if there's a system in place in the next Elder Scrolls that comes out where you can just teleport to any dungeon you want that exists in the game from like the main city. Whoa! Okay, that's terrifying. How would that make you feel? If you could just go to, say, the main town in the next Elder Scrolls, who knows what it would be.
Yes.
And you could just teleport to any dungeon that exists. Would it feel like an Elder Scrolls game? No, it wouldn't. It would feel cheapened. Yeah, you wouldn't put as many hours in the game, because you wouldn't have to. Yeah, you would. It would be very convenient at first, but in the end, it's going to make the world feel way worse. It's going to make it feel not like an Elder Scrolls game. Yeah, swarmed exactly. But that's the way I feel, man. That's the way it seems to me, and that's my opinion. A lot of people dig, convenience. You know what? I should dig convenience because I don't have as much time to play games as I used to, and I do dig it to some extent. But when it comes down to it, when I play a game, I would much rather play a game with, I don't know, realistic world elements and better atmosphere, better continuity of a world than ease of play, convenient placement of everything. Maybe it's just because I grew up with games that were inspired by like the passions of like dudes that played like online MUDs and things like that, and they like wanted to like create that, and they did, like you want to play, you want to make like a real version of Dungeons and Dragons to play like graphical version, and you do it, and you did it, like Diablo, EverQuest, and it's awesome. It feels real. I don't know how else to put it. Use Decrepify? Yeah, Decrepify would be really nice for these hard bosses. And I'll probably end up picking that up eventually. Decrepify, those of you... Oh, I can't go AFK here. Or maybe I can. Decrepify, it curses enemies, it slows them, weakens them, and they take amplified damage. But, we'll get there eventually. Because I really just want to get my summons boosted. You like exploring in Morrowind? Yeah, that's what made Morrowind Morrowind. It's the world, exploring. It felt, you got to know it, and you either played Morrowind or you didn't. There's no like in between, like a cheaper, free-to-play teleport version of Morrowind. That didn't exist, and I'm glad it didn't. I'm not saying fast travel is a bad thing in all aspects. I'm just saying you have to use it with finesse. I think a good example of fast travel used properly, but not like overdone, is in like, say, vanilla World of Warcraft, where you had flight paths, and they were way, way faster than traveling. But you know what? You had to go find them, and once you found them, it worked out. And that is a type of fast travel, but it's not instant travel. You still have to fly from one place to the other. It gave you continuity of the world. And Burning Crusade World of Warcraft had the same thing. Now in like Oblivion, you could fast travel. You could fast travel from one town to another once you found those towns, and it wasn't fast travel just like instantaneous travel. You actually had to like, time passed. And I don't think that was a bad thing at all. Like, time actually passed, so by the time you get there, it would be nighttime, and you have to, like, wait several seconds for those hours to pass or whatever. I don't think that's bad. I think that was done with finesse. But whenever you have just, like, insta-teleport to dungeon, no time passes, blah, 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 I mean, it starts to feel a little bit... That's where you hit the edge of, like, you're not using finesse anymore. You're just going with ease of play. The next expansion, Warlords of Draenor, flying won't happen until the next big patch. I think I think it's a good idea to limit the options of players, especially early on, because if you give players the option to like fly off the bat in brand new content, brand new entire world or continent that's released, and you allow them just to instantly fly or like teleport everywhere, I mean, they're not going to get to know the world. They're not going to feel like they have to get to know the world that you created, that you developed, that you had 3D artists, sit there and work on forever. They don't care about that. And I'll be the first to admit that happened to me. Whenever I started Pandaria, right? I streamed it because I was like, okay, I played WoW for years. Let's give this a try. Like a year after it came out, I decided to try it. And I got really, really bored of questing immediately. I was like, this is not fun. So, you know what I did? I teleported to dungeons and tanked dungeons all the way to 90. From 85 to 90, that's all I did. I didn't feel like I had to explore the world one bit. I did not care about Pandaria, the world. Honestly, I thought it would have been cool if I would have, been forced to explore it. I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but when you give players the option of not having to explore the world that you develop, and you can say, okay, well, but that had consequences. Like, I didn't care about the world. I didn't care about the continent of Pandaria. I ended up flying over it just because I was like, well, I kind of want to see this because I bought the freaking game. But I didn't have to. And you know what? It still doesn't even feel real to me. It doesn't even feel like I experienced that. I leveled from 85 to 90. By the time I hit 90, I went to Timeless Isle and was just like, all right, let's get some free loot. Before I was even 90, I was 89 and went to Timeless Isle. I found 7 epics, and I had them. I couldn't use them yet, and so I went ahead and leveled to 90, instantaneously put on 7 epics, and I was just like, wow, I was laughing the entire time. And for those of you who watched me stream that, you guys remember what I was like. I was just like, it feels like you just ate a meal of like Reese's peanut butter cups and M&Ms and Skittles. So tasty and yummy, and yay, it's candy. But it's just like this isn't gonna make me feel good.
You're done.
You're spoiled. You kind of feel sick to your stomach, and you don't care about, like, you're gonna want candy for a long time, and you may even like crave an actual meal. Like that's how I put it. When I was doing all that, is because that's the way it felt like to me. It felt like, yeah, I played that game for 3 weeks. I hit 90 and had all this epics. Instantly went into looking for raid because I wanted to see the raid content. Heck yeah! So I did every single raid, and by the time that I hit the Siege of Orgrimmar looking for raid, I had gotten so much loot from the looking for raids and Timeless Isle that I didn't have to do anything. I just instantly went into the Siege of Orgrimmar, saw all the Siege of Orgrimmar content, and after that, what did I do? The next week I did Siege of Orgrimmar again looking for raid because it was the easiest way to get new loot, and I did it and I got even more, but not as much. And then by the next week, I think that was the last week that I even considered playing the game, because I was like, well, I'm pretty much done unless I want to PvP, which I don't really care about PvP, and or unless I want to like go do normal raids, which is the exact same content I did but harder. But I've already seen all that content, so what actual incentive do I have to go do that? Well, none really, unless I just like want to like improve my gear and get diminishing returns from here on out by doing the same exact content but harder. And it didn't feel as good to me, so I didn't. I quit. So yeah, 3 weeks into Pandaria, that was my experience. And that, you know, I'm just being real with and you guys that watch me stream, you guys saw that, and you know what? I don't know. Maybe that's up a lot of you guys' alleys. Maybe you guys dig that, but it's like after you've experienced the harder, like the more gritty version, like the version that takes more time, but yet you feel more rewarded by playing. It's hard to like, you know, do an easy mode version of something. It almost feels like this. When I played StarCraft 1, I played it single player, did the whole campaign, you know, even played it online, and then I found out there were cheat codes. And I was like, oh my gosh, you can give yourself infinite Vespene gas and infinite minerals? And you know, I played for like 2 days with all this infinite minerals and like infinite Vespene gas, and I did all these different things, and it was just really convenient and really, really fun. It felt like I was like binging on something awesome. And after those 2 days, I didn't play StarCraft again for months. Probably 6 to 8 months. And that's how I felt about World of Warcraft, the newest expansion. It felt like there were a bunch of little mini cheat codes that Blizzard just gave everyone because, you know what, it does make the game more fun for the short term, but for the long term, no. I may try the expansion. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm always curious because, you know, I played that game so much and I think the world is great overall. But yeah, I think that, you know, all of these things that they do, all the little convenience things here and there, they're like little tiny little cheat codes that they're giving players, just little bitty things, one at a time, and they do feel like those little cheat codes. They make the game more fun in the short term, but in the long term, I don't know. I think there's a finesse. There's just a good way to finesse. Do all that stuff.
Was instant 90 in this expansion?
Yeah, you can buy. You just get straight up instant 90 in this expansion, which I don't even know how I feel about because I didn't even play that much of Pandaria, so I don't know. Yeah, when I went back to StarCraft, all I did, like Vital Tundra said, like I pretty much played only custom games. I really enjoyed the custom games. I am 29 now. Because custom games, they were online. You really couldn't cheat unless you like modified the custom games. And they were just so creative. They were extremely creative. I loved it. Those stats. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Man, I've been like talking for so long, I haven't even been paying attention to what I'm doing. I get like that when I start talking about like ideas that I'm... Because all that stuff I've been really talking about, this is all the stuff that game developers deal with when they're developing a game. How much do you give to players? How much do you not give to players? What limits do you set for players? What you know, do you set limits for players? If you do, where do you set them? Like, and how is that going to affect the game long term? How is it going to affect short term? Got another topaz and another chip. How many nefs do we have? Do we have 3? We have 3 nefs. And we have 3 chips. I'm gonna toss these chips. I'm not gonna need them. Okay. We'll sell this stuff. What else do we have here? Non-ships. 318,000. I'm gonna take a quick break. Be right back in about 1 minute. Oh boy.
So what about WildStar?
WildStar? I don't
Do you
know.
think it's gonna be successful as far as?
Yeah, maybe, because if it basically is like World of Warcraft style game, engine, graphic style, cartoonish, but it's in space, but it has kind of like more like Guild Wars 2 style combat. And if they don't dumb down the game, it may be you know, it may grab a lot of WoW players. I'm a lot more into the Arcage idea because WildStar doesn't add
Guild Wars, like combat system?
well, you never played Guild. It's a lot more active, less passive. You can dodge stuff, but like, it doesn't seem to be adding any new ideas. It really does not seem to be adding enough new ideas to the game to make it any different for me. That it is significantly different. That's why Arcage just seems so much more appealing to me right now because that game is doing things that other games aren't. And my idea for that I discussed on stream quite a bit was reinforced when I saw a well-known streamer named Kriparian, who I watched quite a bit, say the exact same things as me. He said that WildStar is probably going to be fun to play casually, but not for that long. He talked about like Corecraft coming out, which is going to be just a Burning Crusade nostalgia fest. Then he mentioned Arcage, and he had the exact same feelings on that I did. He basically said that Arcage is so different from anything that is out right now or anything that has come out that it's something that, well, and it looks like he is going to look into to be playing on the long term because it's interesting, it's different. It looks like it's going to have a really awesome organic world PvP system. It's going to have a really organic PvE system, open world. The crafting system is unbelievably deep. It's so different in so many different ways. It has much more of an open world sandbox feel. And the downside to that is the fact that it's not going to be like free candy for everyone. Like the way Crip put it was like a lot of people in that game early on are going to be at like poverty level because that's just the way this game is going to be set up. It's going to feel a lot more like EverQuest, which is like, you know, brutal. It's going to be brutal for like people who don't want to play that much. People who are used to the World of Warcraft model. People who are used to the new MMO model where you get free stuff and everyone feels like they win. Yay! It's not going to be like that. It's going to be a lot more like, okay, well, whatever you put into this world, you're probably going to get out. And you can take that pretty far. And, you know, I've got a much more... I'll admit, most people in the world don't play games with like a hardcore mentality or like a real... They care about the depth very much, but like I do. I care about it. If I want to know that, you know, if a game has the possibility to put a lot into it and you get a lot out, I like that. And, you know, that's why I thought the idea of EVE Online was cool, but EVE Online was just not fun.
It's really outdated.
Well, it was a great idea, but it's not really a game. It's more like playing a spreadsheet simulator, something like that.